The Accursed is such a fun mod. It's a sort of essence-eating necrosis thing, especially the one we're in, the Damned, like necrosis-themed like warrior. It's awesome, so we're going to go over it. So, level by level, combat tutorial, all the items, and of course we get Dark Side as our first one. So melee weapon attacks deal an additional 1 to 8 necrotic damage. We gain resistance to all damage types except radiant, and suffer 1 necrotic damage at the start of each turn. This lasts until long rest and is a bonus action. There's also Stigma, so while channeling your dark side, you ignore resistances to necrotic damage. We gain Constitution saving throw proficiency and Charisma saving throw proficiency. We also gain Simple Weapon, Martial Weapon, Light Armor, Medium Armor, Heavy Armor, Shield proficiencies. When it comes to ability points, we have 16 Strength, 14 Dexterity for our initiative, Constitution only at 10, and this will make sense as you go through the build, 8 Intelligence, 10 Wisdom, Charisma at 16, and there is a reason for this. When it comes to proficiencies, take what you feel like. Level 2 brings you Delay the Inevitable charges and Delay the Inevitable. So harness your indomitable resolve to keep fighting when others would have fallen. You basically just heal up as a bonus action. It's really cool. We also get a fighting style, and because we're using a two-handed weapon, we are going to take Great Weapon Fighting. However, if you want to go sword and board, you can take Defense or Protection. And then that brings you to Accursed level 3. And for this one, we are starting with the Damned. So this will give you Detect Thoughts, which is a great little spell to have. It also gives you Soul Cover. So for a portion of your soul, suffer 3 necrotic damage and grant an ally 1d8 temporary hit points. So again, it's a nice way of buffing up allies at the expense of yourself. Accursed level 4 brings you your first feat. Now before that, we're going to jump straight into our feat. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. If you are respecking at the end of the game, and using the exact items we are, you can kind of just take your strength from 16 down to like 8 or something, and work that way. Or you can bump up your charisma or something, because I'm using the Gauntlets of Hill Giant Strength, which will set your strength to 23. So theoretically, this is what you want to go with. You want to bump your ability score improvement to 18 if you're starting from the start of the game. If you are respecking at the end of the game, you want to bump your strength to 8, boost up your constitution and your dexterity. Level 5 brings you extra attack, always a nice benefit, and Dark Drift. So for 5 necrotic damage and double your movement speed and prevent opportunity attacks. Level 6 brings Marked the Doom. So target a creature's essence for corruption, or consumption I should say. If the creature dies before the start of their next turn, you recover hit points. So this is awesome. If you know an enemy is going to die, you can use your bonus action to use this ability and then essentially guarantee you kill them, especially with an extra attack. Level 7 gives you another Delay the Inevitable charge and Mirrored Strike. So when dealt damage, prevent all damage that would be dealt and immediately suffer 7 necrotic damage instead. This is great because essentially you can really nullify a huge attack you would have taken. Accursed level 8 brings you your next feat. Now as before, if you are playing this from the start of the game, strength up to 20. If you're not and you're respecking, bump up your dexterity for the initiative, bump up your constitution, something like that. Level 9 brings Into the Abyss. So while below half your maximum hit points, armor class increases by 2, and you gain +2 bonus to melee attack rolls. You also go ever forward, so while succumbing to your darkness, our movement speed is increased by 4.5 meters. Accursed level 10 brings you Commiseration. Grant nearby allies additional necrotic damage on melee weapon attacks equal to your charisma modifier, which is why it's so important for us to have a high charisma. Level 8 brings Desperation. Suffer 11 necrotic damage and make a weapon attack. Accursed level 12 brings you your final feat. Now, at this point, you are going to want to respec. So, I'm just going to pick anything for a second. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you this build if you are respecking the Gauntlets of Hill Giant Strength. So, if you're respecking, you want 8 Strength, 16 Dex, 14 Constitution, 10 Intelligence, 10 Wisdom, and 16 Charisma. Okay, at level 4, you're going to want to take Great Weapon Master as your first feat when you respec. This will mean -5 to attack roll, solid 10 damage, and if we score a critical hit or kill a target with our melee weapon attack, we can use our bonus action to make another attack. So that's 3 attacks possibly in one turn. Accursed level 8 brings you your next feat. So for this one, once again, with the respec, we're going to come all the way down here, and we're going to take Savage Attacker. So when we roll damage, we roll twice and take the highest amount. And then, in level 12, our final feat, we are going to take Alert, +5 bonus to initiative, and Can't Be Surprised. If you wanted to, you could bump up your dex, you could bump up your constitution. I just think taking Alert is more worth it. Okay, for equipment, we're going to start with the Helldusk Helmet. So you can see in magical and ordinary darkness up to 12 meters and cannot be blinded. +2 bonus to saving throws against spells, and we cannot be critically hit. We take the Flesh Melter Cloak, so if a character or creature hits us in melee range, they'll take 1 to 4 acid damage. I think that just ties in with this like Accursed Damned theme so well. We take the Boots of Genial Striding, so we're unimpeded by difficult terrain. We got the Helldusk Armour. You're considered proficient with it, whether or not you wear it, so you can put this on anyone. When we succeed a saving throw, the caster receives burning for 3 turns. Again, I think that ties nicely into this like accursed theme we've got. We're also resistant to fire damage and can't be burned, and take 3 less damage from all sources, making us great for being on the front line. For gloves, we want the Gauntlets of Hill Giant Strength. As I press the wrong button, this will set your strength to 23. We're going to take the Ring of Generation to heal up. Because so many of our abilities cause necrotic damage, this is a nice way of just making sure we heal up at the start of our turn. The Killer Sweetheart, so if we kill a creature, the next hit we do will be a guaranteed critical hit, but it is only once per long rest. This ties so nicely with the Surgeon's Subjugation Amulet. So once per long rest, when you score a critical hit, you can, on a humanoid, bear that in mind, you can paralyze the target for 2 turns. So this is great on like bosses or like big DPS sort of enemies, but just bear in mind it has to be a humanoid. And then finally, my favourite sword in the game, the Sword of Chaos. I think the fact it's necrotic ties into this theme really well. And we have Chaos, so on a hit we'll regain 1 to 6 hit points. Again, because so many of our abilities cause us necrosis, nice way to, between this and the ring, continually healing up our hit pool. So that is this build, let's go check it out. Okay, you can see we have started combat and our Accursed is top of the turn order. So we're going to start dealing out some basic weapon damage. So you can see just how good we're doing. You can see we're already healing up despite the fact we don't need it. Now we didn't kill an enemy, so unfortunately we do not get to benefit from our abilities. But what we can do is Desperation. Suffer 12 necrotic damage and make a weapon attack. So, you'll see we suffered 9 necrotic damage, but we also healed up. So we've only lost 4 in total. And what this means is that we've guaranteed that on our next turn, we will be able to do a guaranteed critical hit because of our Killer's Sweetheart Ring. It also means we have a Great Weapon Master bonus action. So we can come up to the Barbarian here, guarantee our Executioner, and there you go. And because it's a humanoid, we can also paralyze them, meaning we can come back down here if need be and start tanking the battlefield. And see, enemy's totally paralyzed, so can't do anything. Okay, now you'll see the enemy here is paralyzed. So let's use some of our class abilities, and we will start with, where is it? Mark the Doomed. So if this creature dies before the start of their next turn, we will regain hit points. So let's cast it on Tuzgrot. And now we can come in here, because they're paralyzed, we get the crit. As you can see, we healed up for 26, which is insane. It also means we still have our bonus action for stuff, but unfortunately we don't have the movement speed. So if we come down here, what we can do is turn on Commiserate, so grant nearby allies additional necrotic damage on melee weapon attacks equal to our Charisma modifier. Now this will only hit our Rogue, but if we come down here, we're going to be ready to start dealing out some damage again. So, as you know, we have an extra necrotic damage, so if we were to strike, you can see necrotic damage on our attack. There's other things we can do too. For example, we can double our movement speed if need be, but we also have things like Dark Side. So we can suffer, we can make a melee attack that deals additional damage with a bonus action. Nice little things like that. There's also Desperation, which you saw us do previously. And we have Soul Cover. So if we were to do Soul Cover, we'll do this on Shadowheart. And there you go, 19 temporary hit points. We did suffer 9 necrotic damage, but we are able to just regenerate our hit points. And you'll see we're only now 14 behind. If we want to, we could make another Desperation, so we'll take more necrotic damage, deal some more, but as you can see, overall, between our healing and the necrosis we took, we only lost 4 in total. And as you can tell, this build is just all about dealing as much damage as possible, while also self-regenerating. So again, we can come in with 1, come in with 2, which sadly missed, and then if need be, we can come in with a 3rd attack, just like that. And as you can see, we still have our bonus action available, so if we wanted to, we could do Dark Side, and this will boost our attacks as well. Okay, so all the enemies are far away, so we can benefit from ourselves too. We can take 12 necrotic damage to double our movement speed. just like that. And this will help us close down the battlefield as quick as possible. You'll see we have made such great distance to the point that we can get to this enemy and we can start dealing out some insane damage. And again, we can turn on desperation and miss apparently. And because we have such good strength, we can benefit from things such as being able to push enemies off of beams. Just like that. And because it counts as a bonus action, we still have our main attacks to come up here and start closing down the enemy, continuously healing ourselves from all the necrotic damage we have taken. Overall, this is such a cool mod. I love the theme of like being able to cause yourself damage, but then also pump out more damage. It's just so much fun. So I really do hope that you have enjoyed this build. If you have, please drop the episode a like, it helps me tremendously. And let me know in the comments what you would do differently, any other items, all that fun stuff. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for more. I've got more guides for Baldur's Gate, for Path of Exile, for Dragon Age to Veilguard, Let's Plays for all of the above, and I'm currently streaming God of War Ragnarok, so come and check that out. Regardless, I really do hope you've enjoyed, and hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.